What's up guys, Draconia here with my Dragon Ball Legends top 10 video for the end of July or 7th anniversary after party. And yes, I know, it's very quick. I mean, the new banners dropped yesterday and already making my list. I will maybe regret doing that as well, but at this point, already 2 days in, I kinda saw what the new units do and already have my clear opinion on them. Also, the fact that we're in the middle of the PvP season means people already not trying to use like really good teams with the new units, so and I kind of could see what they do immediately and not fighting against like, you know, at the start of the season with a lot of random teams where you saw good teams in use with the new units, and I think at this point I think I have an opinion that I can share now, and if I regret that later, it is what it is. Yeah, I will start with the number 10, then go down to number 1, and then later do all the mentions if I want to talk about them quickly. Number 10 for me now is LF Full Power Frieza. I still think he's a very solid Zenkai with the second LF Plat equipment. One of the main reasons I have an update is actually his endurance notification. I think I would say with the best team in the game being right now Ultra Frieza and Goku together, having the access to just rush with Frieza is kinda important. I just noticed, forgot somebody later on, but I don't know where he is. Oh wait, he's on it, never mind. No, but with Frieza again, I think having that ability is very nice. He does good damage. He has two teams, powerful opponent and LOE. I think LOE is okay, but not to a good position right now. But it's rather a niche team that I rarely see, but I use this team and I think for this purpose on rushing, and he actually does good damage against Namek, Goku and Frieza, so the only issue is Kaioken Goku can potentially just completely crush him, but again, he also has, when he's cover changing, immunity to getting Solar Flare, so his cards can get destroyed, but let's just say example, the enemy uses the Solar Flare, you switch him in, you have your rush ready, and the KO guard from Goku is already triggered, you can rush Kaioken Goku and potentially kill him, and afterwards he can still be useful. So I see value in him. I had him higher last time, I think about number 6 or 7, but after thinking about some units and getting also new units here, I decided to push him downwards. At number 10, I think this is fine for him. Depending on the next releases, maybe he's gonna get a bit more value. Yeah, but yeah, I love Full Power Frieza number 10. Moving on to number 9, and I can obviously people gonna hate this pick. I am putting UI Goku at number 9. Sorry for people who think this is too low. I'm sorry, but I rarely ever see this unit anymore. He gets crushed by Frieza. He's a liability to the Saiyan team. Universe Rep is dead still, right? And it doesn't help that we now get another green unit. Kevlar is more of a problem for UI than helping him, so... And again, Ultra, talked about this a lot of times, Ultra Frieza is completely countering, not only by color, but the purpose of this character gets countered with Ultra Frieza so hard. And let's just say you want to play a Saiyan team, and I mean the core is always Kaioken Goku and Namek Goku, and you play him. Who are you using to tank him hits against Frieza? Not him. So you have to basically use these two to tank the hits. And why would I put UI Goku there if I could use another unit to maybe tank better, like Vegito, or I don't know. There are a lot better options. He hasn't really a good team. You could use Universe Rap again. Universe Rap against Frieza. You get cooked. Against Namek Goku. You get cooked. Against these two together, you're getting absolutely demolished. I don't see any reason to use this unit right now. I was even thinking about putting it at number 10. Football Freezer over him, but I see this guy a bit more, maybe more rare. I mean, I use him himself, but I see him rarely ever compared to UI. I have a lot of other units over him that I see bringing value over this UI right now. He's not a bad unit individually, but the meta right now is really not working in his favor. This is just like when Kid Buu was like about #1 in the game, and then Ultra Vegito Blue came out, who counters him completely, and he dropped off the top 10. That's exactly right now what UI transforming MUI is. And I hate this unit, but I don't think he deserves it to be like getting unused that quickly, especially as a part 1 headline of the anniversary. Only one unit got it worse, Evo, but yeah, I'm sorry, I can't put him higher after everything I saw with him. Every time I see him, he just dies, nothing else. He literally doesn't do anything else. And yes, he can help against Kaioken Goku, but at the same time, Kaioken Goku, if he doesn't have his immunity to Solar Flare anymore and gets hit by a type neutral, he's getting clapped. So yeah, MUI at number 9, and moving on to number 8 is actually Saiyan Saga Fiku with his flag. The reason why I put him over UI, despite the fact that he's also a blue Saiyan character basically, is that at least he has purposes on the team compared to UI. UI right now can't really stall like he wants to, can't really put in the damage like he wants to, and just dies immediately. Fiku, at least I can give him the credit of saying, hey, he's supporting Kaioken Goku when he's on the team. The next example, you're playing these 3. He's supporting, he's quite tanky. If he's not fighting against Frieza, he's actually quite tanky. And he's healing, he's supporting with damage, he's providing green cards. You can put Yajirobe on the bench to give this team more green cards, which is far more annoying. And this is way better than right now what UI Goku is bringing to the team on Saiyans. So that's why I have this guy over him. It's just really the support perspective. Like, he doesn't do anything much, but at least what he wants to do, the supporting role he does do well. UI wants to do damage and counter gauging, and he doesn't do that. So I put Fiku over him. I think many people will maybe see this as wrong, but this is how I see it. I see Fiku way more, and the fact that he also has Dragon Ball Destruction when he dies, that he has card with Destruction at 50% HP or below, I think. And the fact, again, he's helping Kaioken Goku and Namekoku with the support. Yeah. Good enough for me for having it in the top 10, and good enough to put in for me right now over MUI. Again, this is not saying MUI is worse than him individually, but right now in the meta and what in terms of what you provide for the team, MUI doesn't fulfill a purpose while Fiku does. So that's Fiku at number 8. Moving on to number 7, which is Krillin. I was thinking about maybe putting Fiku over him, but right now I have to say, the fact that he's playing together with these two on a team, even with no Zenkai bench, if you manage to keep Krillin alive for a long time, this team is really hard to kill. With all the healing, the extra damage guard, the extra damage he provides to the team, it just makes it really hard for this team to kill, and this is the reason why Krillin is on here. It's really not just him, not him individually being that great, but what he provides to the team and wants to provide for the team. It just makes this team really annoying to kill and gives them a lot of damage. And you have the KO guard, you have him with his endurance and buff removal if he gets rushed or ultimate and everything, him supporting as well. This is a really tough team to kill if the user actually manages to not just kill Krillin off in like seconds. Like, I had matches where Krillin dies like very quickly and then it doesn't matter, and had matches where he just like kept the team alive for like over 100 counts before he finally got killed. And at that point he provided a lot of things he wants to do. And I can quickly check since I'm already here as well. He has Death Boss, but does he actually provide didn't he give Dragon Balls when he dies? Yeah, He's healing, extra damage that can't be cancelled, and adds Dragonball, so potentially a second Rising Rush for the Frieza Saga team. I think this is just a really strong asset to the team for Frieza Saga, and you have the Zeal Zenkai benches to provide for these two still. Again, Green Kaioken, Zenkai Kaioken Goku for his, you put him in a, I think you put him in a Leer slot. Yeah, then Green Zenkai Goku, who buffs Frieza Saga still, and then you put like, I don't know. I mean, he would maybe waste one Z ability, but besides that, he works well on Frieza Saga. So yeah. Yeah, moving on to the, I would say, number 6. And I will say I was not sure about the 4 to 6 area how I want to order it, but I think I would put Vegito at number 6 right now, and I'm gonna put the other two up as well and talk about it. Vegeta at number 5 and Kefla at number 4, I think. That's the part where I have to say I could easily agree if you want to switch these up. I wasn't quite sure about this ranking because there are different reasons why I'm like the character or like them not. But I will start with Vegito. I would say his pet did him justice. He seems very good right now despite the fact that Kaioken Goku is running around. He can actually tank quite well. Best team I saw for him so far was with Vegito and Namek Goku, and you double sync above Namek Goku and Vegito. I think also with Kefla now you can use a team with Namek Goku and the leader slot, and then these two, and then you have like a Fusion Warrior bench with Saiyans mixed, so you give him double Zenkai buffs and also a Zenkai buff for Goku and for Kefla. I think he's tanking quite well, he does good damage, his ultimate hits pretty hard, and there's not much to say about him. I think he just does very well. He's not shaking the meta or anything, but he's just this really good unit right now. Again, good damage, good tanking, healing. Like, I think his best thing to do is build him defensively and just so that he can heal back later. He has a good sub-count manipulation whenever your teammates get hit, so he can switch back in much earlier, and he tends to have like a lot of health with this new equipment, and then maybe the Zenkai benches, the equipments he generally gets or got even now. So Vegito is like really solid, surviving against the best spread in the game right now. Better access to cover node than he used to, and yeah. Overall, I would say Vegito is just very solid, but the fact that he is just very solid but not really specifically crazy holds him back to being like in the top 3 realm. Again, highest I would put him at 4, but I don't know if I want to put him at 4, maybe 5. Switch it for me one of these two, I'm not sure. So I was just gonna leave it number 6. Again, I'm fine with him. I think they did a great job. Okay, moving on to Vegeta. Now, Vegeta is a kind of weird situation right now, in my opinion. He has a lot of teams, but I think right now he has the issue of being having not a great setup for him specifically. So, best example, let's just say powerful opponent. Okay, let's just say you're running this Frieza, Vegeta, and then full power Frieza. You won't get any good Zenkai bench for Vegeta that works well with the team, because the only 2 Zenkai benches for Vegeta right now are the Saiyan Super Saiyan 3 LF Goku, who's green, that doesn't Zenkai buff these two, so not really a good bench, or green Cooler from the Cooler movie. But the problem with him is he doesn't buff LOE, he buffs movies. So it's basically just giving him a Zenkai buff and nobody else gets anything from it. Also not great. So a lot of times he doesn't get a Zenkai buff on a powerful opponent team. And the problem with that is, while I think his damage is okay there, you can definitely tell tanking-wise against all these crazy hard-hitting units, it's not doing good. That's one thing. And a situation where I'm come in the most, which annoys me the most, is okay, let's just say you're getting priority with this guy and you have those two in a bag. Now, normally I would say just switch into Ultra Frieza, do all the damage because he's obviously the most hard-hitting unit of the team. But with Vegeta, you're kind of forced to use him sometimes because you need to fill this unique gauge to get his disrupt back. Because if you don't do that, he is defensively useless. Like, he doesn't tank the best, especially without Zenkai buffs, but without even his disrupt, he is just useless to the team, to defensively, and that's just a kind of a problem on powerful opponent. And then you sometimes have to use him and fill his gauge back up, and it's like, you could have done more with Frieza there. That's the kind of issue. It really doesn't help that these two are green at the same time. So this is for powerful opponent, and for Saiyans, well, where he does fit better, especially because he's one of the main greens on Saiyans. But I think even there, this team is more strike-based, which isn't a bad thing for Vegeta, necessarily. I mean, his stats are good enough in the strike side to be strike-based, on a strike-based team, and he also has better access to Zenkai bench, actually. But I would say filling his unique gauge on a strike-based team is a bit harder, because he has the same type of new gauge as Kefla. And with blast attacks, it's quite easy to fill them up in time with strike cards. Key charging is not, you can't charge key that long with strike cards. So it takes more time to fill his unique gauge there. And it's also not his best damage setting. So on powerful opponent, he's not performing as he wants to because he lacks the Zenkai benches, I would say. And on Saiyan Saga, it's not his most optimal setup. He's more there for the disrupt and, I would say, revival aspect on Saiyans, which isn't a bad thing, but I don't think that's what Vegeta wants to be right now. But he's solid overall enough so that I wouldn't put him like lower or anything. So that's why I have him at number 5. And Kefla is like, first of all, I'm not even sure when I'm putting at 4 or 5. The one issue with Kefla definitely, which is an issue, is defensively he's just bad. And with bad I mean just simply these three are crushing her entirely. He is kind of immune to her card destruction. Death Beam, we'll need to explain further, and he just does tons of damage generally speaking, and she can't really handle it. She's the definition right now of a glass cannon, and it's more like, I can evade a lot, and as long as I can do that and don't get hit, and she does her thing, she's quite good. Offensively, no problem with her, but she's not good defensively, and she doesn't really change much to the meta. Like, you know, usually the thing what I follow with her is like, okay, Universe Rep, Fusion Warrior. Just gonna help those two tags. If they're gonna give us another Fusion Warrior, we have a complete Fusion Warrior roster. And with Universe Rep, depending on which color and ability, she could help the Universe Rep team. She doesn't have any ability to help neither of these. Like, Universe Rep, she can't tank well. He gets destroyed by Frieza, can't tank well right now either, and Ultra Hit. Also not really having a disrupt, I think. Also not tanking the best against Frieza, or Kaioken Goku even. The team is defensively in a horrible spot, and also the fact that Namegoku rush snipe potential against Kefla. She doesn't have a second life mechanic that doesn't help either. So that's why I'm kind of not sure if I should have put her at 5 or even at 6 or even at 4. Because if I look at the best Saiyan setup I can think about her, she is like with Kaioken Goku and Namegoku, which is basically replacing Vegeta instead of for her. offensively she's doing the job, but defensively she's like not really helping. Vegeta would say the better defensive option, and also provides a green card because Yajirobe, and you can, if you want to use Yajirobe. I don't think Kaioken Goku necessarily needs a Zenkai buff, especially because Kaioken Goku already gives only half. So basically, would say focus on Zenkai buffing Vegeta, Yajirobe HP bench, a lot of green cards for the team. That's more annoying, I would say. But Kefla on a strike-based team performs offensively better. So it's a question what you really want. Like defensively, obviously Vegeta's better, and providing the access to Yajirobe bench and more green cards for these two, which is more annoying. I'm putting these guys back down. But Kefla is more offensively better on the Saiyan team or version with Namek Goku and Vegeta, which is kind of Namek Goku and Fusion Warriors. Maybe we'll get next week something for Fusion Warriors again one last time, but if not, the Fusion Warrior team is just like looking like these two with Namek Goku, because you kind of have to use them at this point. And yeah, it's just sad that she doesn't help the Universe Rep team at all with the issue. So yeah, this was kind of a bit disappointing. Again, ranking these three, you could do this. I would say you could even do this. I don't think there needs to be a particular order here. I'm putting her at number 4 for now, because I think offensively, if you actually manage to play her right, she is quite threatening. I see more play and issues against her than I do with Vegeta right now, and with Vegeta, that's why I'm putting her up here. Like, I have less issues against Vegeta, to be honest, than I do with Kefla, and the same as with Vegeta, although I'll say Vegeta is by far the tankiest. So yeah, you could even maybe do this, but I will leave Vegeta at 5, Vegeta at 6, and Kefla at number 4. Again, she's not bad at all, but I also have to say, if the other units were a bit better right now, either individually, I mean, I would say these 3 cases are more an individual issue where they're not that high, and he is a meta issue thing, but if there were more individually better units, I don't think Kefla will be that high. So yeah, Kefla at number 4, and I'm just gonna put in immediately the last 2-3 units because there's no surprise to nobody. Frieza at 1, Namek Goku and Kaioken Goku I would put actually in a shared thing. And I will explain why. Yeah. So yeah. I will start with Frieza first because it's the most shortest, boring section. Hitting the hardest, having a really crazy dumb team, or dumb teams to be specific. I mean, you can play these 3 together, or you play these 2 and Krillin. It's just annoying, it's really hard to kill this guy, he does so much damage, he combos along with his special cannon, on top of that he ignoring like a lot of disrupts and like, for example, his gauge, or I think the first time she gets hit usually she would destroy 1 card, doesn't matter if she gets death beamed. Yeah, it's just annoying right now to deal with him because there are no purples in this game, and no purple means he can run for free and nobody can really stop him. Like, obviously there are units that can damage him and everything, but he has just a way too good setup right now to be not considered number 1 right now, so that's why he's at number 1. He's even the reason he's pushing like the team like LOE that far or powerful opponent. Like, the team difference without him is like just ridiculous. Like, there are some situations where you can still 1v3 even though you make mistakes with these 2 before and lost them. And yeah, Frieza number 1, no surprise to nobody. Now for Namek Goku and Kaioken Goku. Last time I actually had these guys like this and said I see Frieza as number 1, but I can't see arguments for Namek Goku. Um, right now I'm not gonna do that, but I'm not gonna put Kaioken Goku over Namek Goku, or Namek Goku over Kaioken. Kaioken Goku right now, dude, I mean, I already talked about these two. This guy's not existing. This guy, you can come across him every now and then, but again, his best team is with Frieza. And he still has the access to being type neutral, and if you're not seeing Fitku, there's no blue against him. And this guy hits like a truck. You can't really tank against him. There's like really not an option to tank Kaioken Goku's hits. There's just not. You just have to pray that you don't get hit against this guy. And I mean, these two, with a lot of green cards potentially, if you're playing, for example, with Vegeta, hella annoying. I think this is a core duo that you always play together. Like Namek Goku and Kaioken Goku are a disgusting duo to play against. And it doesn't help that this Namek Goku is supporting. And again, he's just running way too free right now. Being right now basically just as safe as green is just ridiculous with him doing this much damage. Like, yeah, simply hitting way too hard, having too much utility. I mean, I think he's also lowering sub count, and I think also supporting, if I remember. And it, again, annoying disrupt a lot of things about this guy, just making really stupid, on top of that having like the best partner in the game with him. Yeah, Kaioken Goku is just dumb. And Namek Goku, the reason I'm not putting him below Kaioken Goku but on the same tier is for number one, a lot of these units right now are kind of reliant on him. And I think it would be wrong to put him lower. I think Namek Goku provides healing, support, protection, and I think, for example, these two guys would ladder way less if this guy didn't have KO Guard. Because I would say KO Guard is the only reason you can really work these three together and in this meta right now. And again, he works well with him. He works well with him. With him, and him. Not with him, but basically the whole top 10 works with Namek Goku. I can't say the same thing about Kaioken Goku. I mean, he shares the tags, but there are more variations with Namek Goku, and Namek Goku allows some more Saiyan variation teams. And again, and I mentioned this like 5th time already in all my videos, the fact that he has a login, free will with using a Strike or Blast by full unique gauge, and endurance on everything, shuts down a lot of team options like Saiyan Saga or Universe Rap. And I think this is also, again, a very big plus point. He, again, in my opinion, the most meta defining ability in this game right now is Namek Goku. The Death Beam is strong, but I think in terms of meta defining, Namek Goku right now is just the biggest problem. And I see this as a big factor in putting him in the number 2/3 spot here. So yeah, that's why I have him here at number 2 and 3, shared with Kaioken Goku. Yeah, and lastly, honorable mentions here. Who do I want to talk about? Kaioken Khalifa at this point got kind of replaced. This guy, I mean, technically he got replaced, but I would even say Universe Rap right now, best version right now is actually these two guys with Kefla instead of UI, which is a sad thing to say. But the reason why they all don't make the cut is Universe Rap, already explained, you don't see it, so those three are out here. Kaba lacks a team, like Blast based Universe Rap isn't a thing. Evo sucks. Now Cell is an interesting thing, because I used to have him like, I think number 5 last time, and now I'll put him off the list. At this point I would just say the fact that all units get tons of damage guard, including the Zenkais, and all hitting like hard, and he's like just a pre-Legends anniversary unit, is getting to the point where I don't see not only see any play of him, but he's just defensively so bad. Like, his disrupt against Frieza is irrelevant. You hit a blast card, he's at half HP, you click the special beam cannon and keep attacking him like nothing happened, and he just can't do anything against this. And offensively, he has a permanent endurance null for the same reason good as Frieza, but he's just tanking not good enough for me right now. And not putting in the damage that he used to. I mean, there are units he can still kill with his ultimate, I'm not gonna say he can't. But at this point I see him a big harder defense liability than I see full power Frieza right now, which is why I'm putting him higher. And when it comes to teams, they basically have the same team right now, but I see more. I mean, like, ability-wise, obviously Cell is better, but it's really just the fact that he's a pre-anniversary unit, and that hurts him quite a lot. The last unit, I don't even know why I have Tien and Jiaozu on here. Irrelevant. Simple as that. And then lastly, Frost, which I would actually put all over these guys, because Ellery is at least a thing you can do, but Frost, after using him, I mean, the only positive fact about him is that he's pushing these two units right from damage like to an extreme point, which is basically the whole thing he does. He's the cheerleader on the group, he's supporting, he doesn't really tank well, especially, and I don't know why they did this. So he has 170% damage guard, and gets extra 30% against Saiyans. Which isn't the worst thing against amount of Saiyans here on the list, but if you're fighting Ultra Frieza especially, he's useless. He is just dying in like 3 cards against Ultra Frieza. With or without Zangief buff, I don't care, he's just dying. It's just, don't know why they did this. He should have 200% baseline and that's it. No, they made his 30% restricted. Like, are we gonna act like Frieza's not running around in every single match? I don't know what they were thinking. It also doesn't help that he's like, some of his strong supportive abilities are locked between 90 time accounts. And yeah, he's just a lot Saiyan restricted to be really good. I would say really good to like his peak. And yeah, if you fight in Frieza and he's against Frieza, he's just no help at all. But I would say he provides good support, and his death bus can be useful, which I would say he's better than Revival Frieza, which I would say helps him to make the Frieza like LOE team, I would say, viable option, but not to the point where I would say it's like one of the meta teams. Sadly, I wish more for him. But yeah, it's just, he doesn't tank well enough for me, and I mean, his disrupt isn't bad, but it's just, yeah. I don't think they should have locked some things behind 90 time accounts. If he had all his abilities like unrestricted, I would consider him like on Krillin / Namek Goku level, Vegeta level. And also the fact that because this, I mean, you could run this free, but this is just an inferior version of these two and Krillin. So yeah, and on Universal Survivor Saga, don't even get me started there because he's useless on there. So yeah, that's my number 10, and I can understand if people think this is too low, but again, I mentioned my reasons for it. Doesn't help that there are just so many greens and one of them shuts him down completely. But if this guy gets like lower on the list and a unit comes that helps Namek Goku, I think he could be back up. Namek Goku. MUI Goku, he could be a bit higher, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about my list. Again, can understand when people think he's a bit too low, and I can understand if people think this is not the right ordering for these three. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and see you guys in the next one.